Tell me now that Mayor Tao has shown up and what is next in the process of the investigation. We are joined by the former public information officer for the previous Oakland mayor, Justin Burton. Thank you very much for joining us. So let's really dive into this. What was your first impression of all this?
Well, I'm still a little stunned, I'll be honest, Teresa. Initially, I'll give her credit. She came out swinging. She brought high heat with the defiance. The part that has people question was the hard pivot to idea that there's a conspiracy between billionaires and millionaires in Piedmont and the FBI to oust her from office. That might be a lot for Oakland residents to accept.
So she went kind of down a victim path and, blaming others for her problems. Is that a winning strategy?
Well, I'm not the only one who noticed that as well. There was a bit of self-pity in this speech. You don't often see that from elected officials, particularly from major cities. This is the big leagues. And that clip that you just showed before the lead-in, she was saying, I just can't catch a break. The hard reality is when you're the mayor of Oakland, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're having a bad day. They just want their streets paved. They want the trash picked up, and they want crime to come down. One of the things the mayor began her talk with this morning was the tragic shooting at Lake Merritt where 15 people were wounded. That was a major trauma to our community, and the mayor was silent for 4 days. Last night, there were 2 homicides in Oakland. The mayor did not mention them at all. So she's got a lot to do to catch up.
And then she kind of, she made the comments about, that she wants answers from the U.S. attorney. She's not going to get answers from the U.S. attorney. And it seemed that she was trying to pivot the attention away from the FBI. I mean, the FBI, of course, is going to do what they think is the right thing without consulting her. So that seemed kind of a bizarre play.
That's right. Everyone in law enforcement who's analyzed what happened at her home would tell you the FBI doesn't go into the home of an elected official and hang out for 4 hours in front of the media with FBI on their windbreakers unless they got the goods. Now, she might not be the target of the investigation, but certainly there was something in her home that they were removing and that they were okay with showing the world that they were coming out of the mayor of Oakland's home and hauling off evidence. Even though they haven't spoken yet, that's not the FBI's MO. Everybody knows that FBI is not going to give you a call if they want to move in onto your home. So a lot of people were trying to follow that logic as well.
Oh, and Justin, I want to address this whole issue because a lot of people don't understand what a target is. But a target is superfluous. It's irrelevant. If, for example, there's an indictment, she could still be charged. So this whole issue of whether she was the main focus, which is what that legal term refers to, the main focus of going in is irrelevant if you are charged.
And it's irrelevant in the court of public opinion, and it's irrelevant to Oakland residents right now. They just know the FBI moved on the mayor's home. So she was clear that she believes she's not the target of the FBI investigation, yet she also strung together a theory she is the target of a conspiracy that involves the FBI and millionaires from billionaires in Piedmont and San Francisco, which again might be a really hard sell to Oakland residents.
What about the aspect that there were 3 other homes that were a part of this larger FBI law enforcement action? So do you think that was unusual? She didn't mention anything about, we have received word that this was all about campaign financing and California Waste Solutions. So there was no word about that. She didn't approach that at all.
No, before she came out and gave her comments, her chief of staff entered the room and let the media know she wouldn't be taking any questions under the advisement of her attorney. So we have to believe every word that she read from was scripted and, had eyes of her attorney on it. And they gave us no new information of how they might be associated with this investigation.
Do you think that it was interesting that she didn't answer questions? Because on one hand, she said that she wants to be transparent, yet, however, she did not take questions.
I do, and I think that's going to be another thing that's difficult for her up until what appears to be a recall election in November 5th. Oakland residents want their mayor to be transparent and responsive. So the fact that she felt like she can go into the media and give a speech, take no questions, that's not going to fly when she's out in the community and she's at a public event. People are going to want to know what's the real on it, and if she just says, hey, I can't talk about it because my lawyer said, that's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouth.
What was your take on her take about the recall, that it's a waste of time and money? What is your take on that?
Well, that's expected. She shouldn't feel like a recall is a serious endeavor. But the reality is they got the signatures. It got certified, and barring any legal interactions or legal interruptions, it'll be going on to the November 5th ballot. And at that point, voters are going to have a yes-no decision, a thumbs up, thumbs down. She doesn't have the luxury of having to run against someone else on that ballot. And that's going to be a high bar to clear. That's why you heard her message today that the real enemy are millionaires and billionaires from Piedmont and San Francisco and the FBI. That's who she's hoping to challenge on that ballot. When people go for that vote November 5th, they want to say, are you going with the mayor, or are you going with aligning yourself with millionaires and billionaires and the FBI?
Justin Burton, thank you very much. Former Director of Communications with Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, former Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf. We look forward to more insight later to come, because certainly this is a big news development.